जी फेसबुक। अच्छा, ये इधर से भी हम कर सकते हैं। उधर से लगा यू जूम पे चलते जाए, यूट्यूब पे जा रही है।
हम्म।
और इधर से लगा चलती है, मैं देखता
अच्छा,
हूँ।
इधर से सामने कैमरा आ रहा है। ये तो
अच्छा,
बड़ा
ये इधर से भी
इंटरेस्टिंग
हम
है।
कर सकते हैं। इधर से लगा यू जूम पे चलते जाए, यूट्यूब पे जा रही है।
हम्म।
और इधर से लगा चलती है, मैं देखता हूँ।
इसका डबल सामने कैमरा आ रहा
हम्म। नहीं तो, नहीं वो एक कैमरा एक टाइम पे एक पे चलेगा।
है। जो भी चलाते हैं इस पे आ जाओ।
नहीं हाँ, एक मिनट इसका कौन सी। नहीं वो एक कैमरा एक टाइम पे एक पे चलेगा, ठीक है।
चलाते हैं इस पे आ जाओ।
नहीं हाँ, एक मिनट इसका कौन सी। शेयर हो रहा है। अब ये वाला लिंक आगे चला जाए, ठीक है।
ठीक।
तो इसको मैं उस पर भी भेजता है, उस पर भी शेयर। ये वाला लिंक आगे चला जाए, ठीक है। ये वाला लिंक हम उसको सेंड कर देते हैं ऐप्स में, आप उधर वाला उधर सेंड कर दें।
हाँ, इधर भी लाइव आएगी ना, फिर वो वाला लिंक सेंड करेंगे। ये यूट्यूब वाला
ये
करेंगे।
वाला लिंक हम उसको सेंड कर देते हैं, उसमें आप उधर वाला उधर सेंड कर दें।
लाइव आएगी ना, फिर वो वाला लिंक सेंड करेंगे यूट्यूब वाला।
ठीक है। साथ साथ ये लिंक हम जो आरपीएल वाले हैं वो भी शेयर करते हैं। साथ साथ ये लिंक हम जो आरपीएल वाले हैं वो भी शेयर करते हैं। आपका जो है फेसबुक का अपना पेज बनाएंगे इसको।
ये यूट्यूब करेंगे, जूम जूम पे जाते हैं ना।
ठीक है। आपका जो है फेसबुक का अपना पेज।
इसको शेयर करें।
हाँ जी, अपने पेज के।
इसको दूसरे ग्रुप में शेयर करो।
हम्म,
जूम नहीं भाई, बस यूट्यूब होगा सिर्फ।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
चलो इसको शेयर करो।
हाँ जी, अपने पेज के।
इसको दूसरे ग्रुप में शेयर करो। जूम नहीं भाई, बस यूट्यूब होगा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
हाँ।
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Moazzam Gulzar. I'm General Secretary of Irish Society of International Doctors and Association of Irish Pakistani Physician and Surgeons. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Moazzam Gulzar. I have a very important guest with me who has been working for non-EU doctors in last 3 to 4 years tirelessly um, and without any own benefit. Okay, that's very important to mention here. And he came all the way from Dublin to Letterkenny for this live session because we wanted to do it in person rather than doing it just on Zoom. So, Dr. Lika Rahman is president of International Irish Society of International Doctors and vice president of Association of Irish Pakistani Physicians and Surgeons. These two organizations are sister organizations which work for both Pakistani physicians and surgeons as well as international doctors for their career progression, for their local support. Sometimes we need logistical support, especially during the changeover time, which is currently we are having in this week. So we are working on multiple domains, but there have been some recent developments um, regarding recognition of previous learning, which is a broader term, RPL, which includes recognition of previous training and previous experience, like non-training experience. So we'll have a detailed talk with Dr. Lika Rahman because there have been many questions arising. We have been contacted by a lot of people. We got a lot of messages in our inbox that there's some confusion about what is difference between recognition of previous experience or previous training, and if we talk about recognition of previous experience, different nationality, there are different criteria for different nationalities. So there are few confusions which we will try to clear today. So without wasting any further, wasting time any further, I will ask Dr. Lika Rahman to introduce himself, and maybe Dr. Lika, if you want to tell about all your struggle and all your work from, I would say, 2019 to 2020 onwards about STEM 4 and especially on this equal training access and then the recognition of previous learning, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mazam. You have been the part of our team. I really appreciate. I'm very grateful all the people that has been involved with this. So as you guys already know that I have been working on many issues of international doctors since 2018 onwards, and we have achieved remarkable milestones. My brief introduction is I'm working as a consultant pediatrician at the moment. I have been trained in Ireland through alternate pathway, and I'm very motivated regarding that alternate pathway, and I guide the people as well on that. That's the first thing that we introduce here and motivated people to have their training recognized. So I'm also elected council member of Irish Medical Council, historic milestone that in the history of Ireland, in the history of Irish Medical Council, non-Irish doctors who won the elections. I'm one of those. And also, I'm president of founder of Irish Society of International Doctors in Ireland. And this is a specific organization that started as a movement in 2018 to train us all. And then it was later on founded as an Irish Society of International Doctors to work for the rights of international doctors, basically. And also, we have a very dedicated group of Pakistani physicians in Ireland, young, and motivated doctors, and we have set up an organization for that, which is Association of Irish Pakistani Physician Research, and we have more than 700 members. And to support our Pakistani community, it is just to mention one thing that I hope that everyone is engaged in that live session, and uh, there is no error or anything that involve in voice or quality or anything. If there's anything, you guys can make a comment so we can um, correct it, because we have live stream on different things and it is kind of different devices, so there might be some error that we might or interruption that you might encounter. So please let us know on time. Um, one more thing,
Yeah,
if
sorry. Yeah, very important point actually Lika has mentioned, and I would say there are few close friends who are actually on online with us, and I would say I would request them because we are sharing it this live stream on multiple forums like YouTube, multiple Facebook groups and pages. So if one of our close friends, whoever thinks that there is anything, any issue with the voice or any distortion or video quality, please you can text us directly and we'll try to fix it. Okay.
yeah,
So yeah, Dr.
fantastic.
Lika, you can go ahead. Mhm.
Maybe what we can do, if you can, on the other side of the door, if you can check it that everything is working, and I'll
Yeah,
continue that.
perfect. Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah.
Thank you. So the question that was the purpose of this session is that we'll keep it very sweet and short and sweet, basically. So the purpose is that recognition of prior learning, what it is background, and how it's going to benefit international doctors, and what is our motive for training for all. That slogan that we raised in 2018, train us for all, and train us for Ireland. These are our slogans that we raised in 2018. So in 2018 and before that, and the Irish health system had some amendments and legislations. It means that international doctors who are not from the European countries, non-EU doctors basically, they don't have an equal training access. So basically, they don't have any access to training. And that was something when we landed in Ireland, we figured out, and we then figured out something more, which is that doctors who come in Ireland, they just use Ireland as a what you said, transit station. So as a stepping stone, and then move to UK, Australia, New Zealand. So something strange that figured out obstacles and their legislations and all these things. So it was surprising that how a country, first world country with equal human rights, how they can discriminate based on nationality and the color when it comes to the training to the doctors. So we raised this issue, and it became a movement, and we worked on multiple forums, media, bureaucrats, politicians, and training bodies, did surveys, research, and all these things, and pulled out data and everything. It was a long journey. In short, we wanted to figure out that it is very hard to change the law. It was a European law that non-EU doctors will be treated at bottom of the categories. It means they have no access to equal training or maybe training. So to cover all this, that we have to change the immigration system. And Alhamdulillah, we changed it a few years ago. We changed it altogether, the immigration system. So any doctor who is coming here will be given a stamp for, which is a permanent residency, which used to be given after 5 years. So because of the permanent residency, thousands of doctors got it after a few years in working in Ireland, and hundreds of doctors went straight into training, formal training route of Ireland, basic specialist training and higher specialist training. But when we started this movement, personally, my story was that I did a junior doctor job, senior house officer, 2 years, and I worked with the basic specialist trainees, which where the job responsibilities for them is a senior house officer as well. So I worked with them. I saw this nothing different between them and me, and after 2 years, they are eligible to qualify her specialist training, and I am nowhere. So my experience is not recognized. So that was the first point I raised. I met the institutions and the stakeholders, and I put forward my logbook, which I made. So that's the most important point. I put forward my logbook. I didn't go and said, "Oh, give me my recognition of my experience." No, I uh, made all the papers, prepared all the stuff, logbook, researched the PhD curriculum, and according to that, made my logbook and went into them and tell them, look, this is my logbook. I have done whatever your trainings has done. So why not you give me a chance to apply for higher specialist training and um, enhance my training process and give me eligibility. So what I heard at that point, that was called recognition of prior learning. So I was told, if you have any trouble, you can go to UK. That was very strange thing for me, that stakeholder is asking me, is telling me this thing. Is so at that stage, I was a bit disappointed, but I said to them categorically, no, I'm not here to go to UK. Even if I'm thinking about to go to UK, I will not go now. So I will highlight this issue everywhere, across all forums. I'll tell everybody this is not fair. And in a very professional way, I'll take this forward and I will tell everybody. And we need to do that. You are bringing a doctors here and you're not giving them the recognition of the work they have done. So since then, we achieved all the milestones, we changed all the system together, but that RPL was still there. So they introduced the e-portfolio on our request because they said there should be a standard portfolio for the international doctors who are not on a training scheme, for any doctors, NCHTs, non-hospital, non-consultant hospital doctors who can record their training, and then they can bring forward that training record and we can think about that. But recently, in the last few months, they did a research project on that, and they established few forums, focus groups. So I was the part of one of the focus group, and I shared all of my suggestions, recommendations, and a background. And luckily, I think last week, a few weeks ago, in the first week of July, they introduced that part of recognition of prior learning and prior training, and that's where we are at the moment. And
Yeah, I
that
would,
was
I
a
would, I
question.
would like to mention one thing here, because when they brought in ePortfolio, everybody was very happy, and we were very happy that somebody has listened to us. But the trick was that ePortfolio was meant to be used by those doctors who are pursuing what we call is alternate pathway of training, like who are not on a dedicated training program under a college, but pursuing their training themselves, and trying to making a e-log book or paper log book, something like that, and has to submit in the college or in the medical council to get registered on the specialist register to become the consultant. So what happened in the end, that e-portfolio was completely different from the application pack for specialist register, which was sent by medical council. So I remember when I applied for, I started working on my alternate pathway, and I asked my medical council, Ireland, to send application parts pack. It was completely different. Those forms were all different. And the e-portfolio, which I was doing, and I was asking my consultants to sign online things, it used to go via email, and the consultant would sign via email. But that was of no use. So we had then NDTP leads, they approached different doctors, and I was one of them as well. So Daniel Cregan, and I told them that this is like of no use, that e-portfolio, if it's not going for alternate pathway, if we still have to make a separate logbook for alternate pathway to become a consultant in the Ireland, then that e-portfolio is of no use. So all these steps, day by day, and the small inputs have led to this day. But again, there are still some problems in this program. We think, maybe some people have different idea, but we think that especially for Pakistani doctors, there are still a few loopholes which might need to be addressed. So we'll talk about detail about it's a, as I said initially, that this is a broader term, recognition of previous learning, which encompasses previous training program or previous experience in Ireland, or the training program should be outside. Okay, so I'll actually start with a formal question from Dr. Lika, that what is recognition of previous learning, which you already have told background. So what are its categories?
So basically, recognition of prior learning or previous learning is that anybody who has been trying to work in Ireland or working in Ireland, their training, structured training in their homeland or their experience, which is not on a training scheme, non-training experience in Ireland, would be considered, would be processed, and they will be given an exemption for the basic specialist training, and they will be given an eligibility to apply directly to the higher specialist training. So basically in Ireland, the training program is run through in a way that 2 years basic specialist training in any specialty, and then after completing 2 years, you have to put a separate application again and to go into competition for the higher specialist training, which is around 4, 5, 6 years, depending upon specialty. So our doctors, when they come to Ireland, they are overqualified in a way. Someone who's holding 2 fellowships, FCPS, someone is holding like 2 membership degrees, they have 10 years experience in Saudi, Middle East, or in their homeland. When they come here, they're quite aged, and the training is, is a very hard job. So they have to step down to come to the SHO level for basic specialist training, which is a competitive training as well, and then they can go again to qualify horse. So we thought, why not you assess their skills, their qualifications, and give them a fair chance to apply directly to the higher specialist training instead of going back to the basic specialist training. That was the thing. So now they have approved. So it has two categories now, as Dr. Muazzam asked me. It has two categories separately. So a recognition of prior training, which is RPT, and recognition of prior experience. So RPT is designed specifically for those who have completed the structured training. It does not matter what is the name of the training is FCPS, because all the countries overseas, everyone is included, either is an FCPS or MD or MS. It should be structured training that is qualifying the criteria of RCPI, which they have put on their website on the link. And secondly, it can benefit those who are already working in Ireland. In the last 5 years, they have completed the training, or all those who are not working in Ireland but in their homeland, and they have completed the training and they have the Irish Medical Council registration, and they can apply in future here. So it can benefit both. But RPE, I think Dr. Muazzam
I'll
will
try to share that
share
screen
the
here.
RPT, and we can go a little bit more the RPT, and then we'll come to the RPE afterwards.
You want to come to RP? I'll try to open it here. We'll
Yeah.
see. Okay.
So, go up to the
Yeah,
RPT.
okay. So yeah, that's the RPT. Okay.
So yeah, so if you can see the slide, I hope that you guys can see that.
Yeah.
We'll check it.
Yeah.
So that recognition of RPT, Dr. Mozzam will explain a bit more that it is for overseas doctors, and it has specific standards. Three things it has. Number one, you need to have a structured training overseas in the last 5 years. And that structured training does not matter, but it should be recognized training in your respective country. I'm not sure about the duration, but it should
Yeah,
qualify
they haven't mentioned
they
about
haven't
it.
mentioned duration.
Yeah.
So you should qualify the criteria standards set out in their guide. So guide is there. You can check that guide. Number two criteria is MRCPI. So because they're PhD candidates, they complete the MRCPI degree here, so that's why they put that criteria. Number three criteria is in this case that you should have an Irish Medical Council registration. So if you see the application pack, so it gives you like three things, isn't it? You can explain that.
Yeah, I'll actually quickly go through, as Dr. Lika has already said, that about application criteria. So there are on their website, if you open recognition of previous training, RPT page, they have different frequently asked questions like what is application criteria. You can go through that, and there are a different separate question for doctors who are trying to come here from Canada, New Zealand, Australia. I'm actually working with good few number of like doctors who are came here from Canada, and the next question, who is reviewing my application? That can be seen later on. How much does it cost? Everything, like all the detail is there, where it needs to be like applied, and what will be the result? Can it be appealed? Then how do I apply? So that's very important. So they have actually this page is for RCPI, which is Royal College of Physicians of Ireland. It doesn't include the surgical specialties like ENT or surgery or anesthesia, emergency medicine. They are all under RCSI, and who they are trying to amalgamate as well with this. But RCPI has put three specialties online, the application form for three specialties: general medicine, obs, gynae, and pediatrics. So whichever your specialty is, you can open this form. Like if I open for pediatrics, for example, I'll try to share it, the form with you. Just one second. I hope I can, we can, yeah, I think that's the visible, yeah. So if you go down there, so that's how the checklist starts. So first and foremost important thing is your CV. The next most important thing is the certificate should be like your training program. You should have completed it. You should have passed all the parts, all the exams. Like for example, if you take an example of FCPS Pakistani exam, you should have cleared part 2 clinical exam, and you should have your convocation and a degree after your convocation. Only then you're eligible for this. Okay. And then your certificates of relevant courses. Out of those, 4 are mandatory. Like there are different courses of communication, such as leadership courses, they are included, and then ethics and safe prescribing. So these are mandatory, and if you can do more, for example, in peds, I would always suggest doing child protection recognition and response course, which is offered by RCPCH. Even Irish college, they get that RCPCH course done for their own trainees. So that is very important course to be done. APLS, those are all preferable courses as well. Okay. So then the next step is your personal information, then clinical experience, and then there's a table there that any other courses you have done, you can put it here. So this is just one example. I just wanted to quickly show you this form. Similarly, the medicine and gynae people can have their own application forms. If somebody have done FCPS gynae, I recently got a phone call from one of my class fellows who's in Saudi Arabia, and they have their own friends which have done FCPS gynecology, and they were trying to get into the Ireland and asking what is the value of, is there any benefit of doing FCPS gynecology and coming to Ireland? So previously there was no benefit, to be honest. FCPS has no input in getting into the training programs in Ireland, but this will bring, at least this will get your BSD exempted if you can do the Irish exam on top of that. On so your 4 years of FCPS and your Irish exam, then you can directly apply for HST, which was a big hurdle in the past. So, Dr. Lika, you wanna mention anything else?
So I think that the major question that people are asking regarding
Mm,
RPT,
mm,
so I will suggest that go through is deeply, and you can always personal messages us.
mm,
But the question that I come across is that people are saying I have completed the FCPS part 1 IMM, but I'm pending FCPS part
mm,
2. Am I eligible? I will say no, because if you see their guideline, it says you need to have a certificate of completion of your structured training. Second question is that is whether MCPS 2 years or 4 years. I will say their training program in Ireland is 2 years. So if you are doing the same training program like 2 years, but you're fulfilling their guideline, which is they have mentioned for the skills and management category and the courses they have mentioned, you have done it, an MRCPI degree done it. I think there's no harm. You can definitely apply it. And there's an email for the help desk. You can always ask them a question if you have any concern. I think third question that people are asking is that last 5 years. So definitely last 5 years, your training program should be completed, and that the year that you have been awarded a completion of certificate that matters. Because some people, they what you say, that they pass their exam after many years,
Yeah,
I think, and the year they have been rewarded the degree, that years start there, and 5 years that you have to count from there. We are raising this to them that what is the meaning of 5 years. I will come to that later on, that what is our plan future. So now we talk about the RPE.
yeah,
So
yeah,
RPT, I think that these very straightforward things.
yeah,
So degree, MRCPI, IMC, and go through the guide, and any query, help desk, they have.
yeah,
So six faculties, yeah, forgot one thing. Six faculties, six colleges is RCPI, RCSI, College of Anesthesia, Obs and Gynae, even. So they have recognized, and 31 specialties. They have given a form RCPI for three specialties, but the other specialties, 31 specialties, it is cross-collegiate recognition of this program. So it is everywhere. It is a kind of in all across Ireland, in every college, they have recognized it. So you can always email them for
yeah.
that.
And I was always recommend that emailing directly to them, rather than asking random people or people who have recently applied. Yeah, it's always good to ask people who have recently gone through the same process. It gives you a good insight. But sometimes things can change within weeks or months, and you're not aware of that change. So always ask other people, but don't take any don't make any decision without knowing the things from the official sources, which is that's why I have kept this information on the screen for last like few minutes, that it is very important to ask them directly. Help desk at the rate rcpi rcpi.ie, and anyone who is in Ireland can directly dial their number, which is Dublin number 01-863-9721. And they have given their help desk operating times as well, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. Now, Dr. Lika will go towards the
RPE.
RPE.
And what are the problems, and
Yeah,
why? Yeah, so we are coming to that. So basically, a lot of people, so RP is basically recognition of prior experience. So basically, they introduced this year, and as far as I know, this is a once off, and we are not happy with that anyway. So basically, it is for those doctors who has not been working on a training post in Ireland, and they have progressed from senior house officer to the registrar, even to the senior registrar level. They have no pathway except the alternate pathway, and some are not fitting in one on the alternate pathway as well. So for them, the only suitable pathway is to apply for higher specialist training, because if they go back to BST, basic specialist training, it means that from a senior registrar they have come down to the senior house officer level, which is not I think suitable for them or even fitting for them. So that was the thing that for the doctors in Ireland. So what happened now? So they have put an condition which is excluding almost all the doctors.
Pakistani doctors. Yeah,
Even I think all the international doctors are being excluded. They have mentioned some names as well in the website, the doctors from Pakistan, Sudan, and they are not eligible. And if you do a survey and try to figure out like how many international doctors belong to these two countries, Pakistan and Sudan, you will see more than 70-80% doctors. So basically, they have taken them out altogether. And if you go further into their category of criteria, so you will see they said like the doctors who have been working in Ireland on a standalone post before 2020, it means like 4 years experience, 5 years in the last 5 years, and their internship was before 2008. Doesn't
yeah, no,
make
after.
after
Yeah,
2008. It does not make any sense, I think. And I don't
yeah,
know which cohort they have been addressing. When I saw that, because I have been a part of the focus group, and they sent me this policy, and immediately within due time, within half an hour, I recorded my feedback. Basically, I recorded my protest to them straightway to the training body, and that this is not fair. You're not going to address this issue. You're not going to help any doctors who has been working in Ireland. And this is the cohort of the experienced doctors who really want to work in Ireland, really want to enhance their training and education, want to get a specialist register, but they are leaving after taking passport. They're leaving to the other countries and they're leaving back to Middle East because they have no future, no hope here, and you are losing experienced doctors basically. And we don't say that give them a higher specialist training. We are asking them, give them a fair chance, give them a hope, give them a I will say some opportunity so that they are satisfied from their heart that they have been treated equally and they have been treated fairly. This is what we wanted. And so when I recorded my feedback, so the RCBI, I think operational head, she contacted me within the next few days, and she said this is a tip of iceberg, and we have introduced this once off, and the reason behind that was a bit different. So and she wanted to meet me, and I'm very happy to meet her. And this is an opportunity. I will take this issue further. And Dr. Mozam was discussing with me that what we do usually. So in such cases, we bring some petition or some
Yeah.
letter.
Online petitions. So there are two ways, so we have identified a problem here. So now the next step is how to solve this. So for solving is we have a plan, and we would need your help in this. So first of all, I think one main idea is to put an online petition to get more signatures, that they need to do something about this. Like if I have opened this page, and if you see there that the following countries are not eligible to apply: so Australia, Malaysia, New Zealand. And then if you, interestingly, if you see the Pakistan, where the internship was commenced after December 2008, it means all the young doctors, they are excluded from this. So only the Pakistanis who have done internship before 2008, they can apply for this program. And I don't think any one of them will be applying for HSC now after for 15 years. So they're already maybe consultants, or they have done their own, chosen their own career pathways. Similarly with South Africans, like even like if any South African doctor who has done internship after 2006, they cannot apply for this. Only those who have done internship before that. So if somebody has done internship before 2006, they're already 20 years ago. So they're already like settled. I don't think they're gonna apply for this. So these are few things which we wanted to address, and we will try to run an online petition which will try to get maximum signatures. We would like to get your help on this. And even I would say, maybe if you are online now, please like this video and subscribe to our official channel, AIPPS official YouTube channel, and Dr. Lika's Facebook page. So that our reach can be maximized, and we can address these issues. Like we are not just talking here, to be honest. We have done meetings with ministers here before, and we have achieved historical milestones, like getting stamp for done within 2 years for doctors, which was previously took 5 years, and equal training opportunities for non-EU doctors. So this is our next goal at the moment, that we are trying to understand why these countries have been taken out for this program or this opportunity, and why this is important about 2008 or 2006. So maybe they will have some answers for us,
Yes.
and they might be able to satisfy us, but
I
that will
think
be
that
good.
Mozam, I will say that this is a clear discrimination.
I hope it. I literally hope it is not. But if it is, like, we would like to address it.
Yeah,
Like if I see the other countries which are not in this list are India,
yeah.
Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, but we don't see.
And even in Egypt, Egypt has a lot
Yeah,
of doctors here.
yeah,
So
yeah.
why Pakistan and Sudan? Because the rest, Australia, New Zealand, because I don't see many doctors.
Mm,
So Australia, Pakistan and Sudan, these are the doctors who contribute almost 70-80% of the international
mm,
doctors.
mm, mm.
So we're not saying give them a HST. We're saying
Mm.
like give them a fair chance to
Yeah,
progress. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So it is now their own luck and hard work
Mm,
that whether they have maintained their professional development and all that stuff portfolio that they can submit and they can progress. It
mm,
is up to them now. Because if you figure out 100 doctors, of international doctors, and out of that, you don't know how many have maintained all the courses and
Yeah.
everything. So it is just, just.
And if I say about myself, like I think this, if I have left it highlighted about the Pakistani point, the about it. So that was one reason when I came here in 2018 and I was not able to apply for PhD until late 2020 because that was not allowed, so it only changed in end of 2020. So by that time I was already way ahead in my career progression. I had already done my PhD exams. And I started pursuing my alternate pathway. So I spoke with many consultants, and even I would thank all those my consultants, and especially Irish consultants and Pakistani consultants who guided me at that time and helped me in a lot of different occasions in deciding my, in getting progress in my career. So we are not just clean. I just mentioned this point because we are just not trying to, uh, you know, picking up the points or mistakes or something. We are not just complaining. We also appreciate if we get help. And we have, both of us, we have made Ireland our home, and we literally love this country. So but if there is something which we think should be addressed, that's the reason we are trying to pinpoint it. So all viewers, please, we will reach you soon about our online petition, and we would like you to sign it yourself and share it with your friends.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I will count them before finishing that what we have done. Muazzam
Mm,
mentioned that we are not just talking.
mm.
So it is very, very hard in another country that you pick up their policies and you criticize them. But what we did, we brought a solution which are feasible according to that system. So if I count them, what we have done. So what we have done, we made eligibility of all international doctors to apply for a training. Before that, international doctors were not even eligible to apply for training. So first thing is that there was an amendment happened in 2017-18 that now anybody who is holding general registration and general category will be directly eligible to apply for a training even from the overseas country. That was the first thing. Second thing is that we made sure that we are treated equally because we are treating at the bottom. If I count the categories, so Irish, Irish national,
Irish
Irish
graduate.
national, Irish graduate, Irish national, EU graduate, Irish national, non-EU graduate, EU national,
Irish graduate.
Irish graduate,
Yeah.
EU national, EU graduate, and EU national, non-EU graduate, non-EU national, Irish graduate, non-EU national, non-EU. So we are at the eight category, and
and
the seats are limited.
and even there was division between categorization of stamp 4.
Yeah,
So like there are different ways you can get stamp 4. One is if you live in this country previously. Now after 2 years you can get it, but previously if you live this in this country for 5 years,
yeah.
or if you have a baby in this country after living 3 years, then that baby is Irish citizen and you can get stamp 4. And then the third is if you marry an Irish citizen, then you can get stamp 4. So even on when you apply a HST or BST, their preference list had categorized two types of stamp 4, and they kept that stamp 4 which was gained by after marrying an Irish citizen on up on top, and then the stamp 4 which is gained after living here for 5 years and or getting a baby here after 3 years was below that, because it was a fact that most of Pakistanis or non-EU or Sudani doctors or other non-EU doctors, like most of big chunk of them were getting stamp for after living here 5 years or having a baby, but not they're not were like going for marrying. All of them were
Hmm.
not going for marrying Irish citizens. So even that was like divided. So there was a lot of kind of discrimination which we discussed with them, and like we had a very good meeting, productive meeting with Mr. Stephen Donnelly here in back in
Health
I think
Minister.
early, yeah, he's a health minister of Ireland, and that this meeting was in 2022. Yeah, it was in April 2022. And we also had very close contact with and multiple discussions with officials from Department of Justice and Department of Enterprise, who all, like, they listened to us. And it took time, and even this time it will take some time, but in the end they were like very kind enough to listen to us. And for us, for non-EU people, they they changed their laws. So it was a milestone. So that's why we are saying that
I
it's
think that
not.
our immigration system is one of the world's best immigration system.
Yeah,
That you get stamp for 2 years, which is a permanent residency,
yeah,
and you get a spouse working rights. It was not used to be in Ireland that
yeah,
spouse was not having a working rights. Now spouse can get a visa, a work visa, where they can even do locum as well.
yeah.
So that was, I think, the
And that
immigration
was a new thing.
new thing.
Like that was a huge milestone, to be honest. Like getting a new category of stamp introduced with our efforts. Like stamp
Yeah,
1H was introduced after this, like announced after this meeting, this particular meeting, which you can see here.
exactly.
So it was a huge milestone. And
And
our,
then for the Irish passports, we
yeah,
worked hugely, and we are in collaboration with the department
justice,
that
yeah,
we help the people whose Irish passports are delayed, because Irish passport was being delayed more than 3, 4 years, or even if you spend 5 years, you have to wait another 3, 4 years. So now we have done to best of our capability to help the people, you know, so that they can make Ireland home, and they have some family and social stability in a better way they can. So I think there was another thing that we worked on is the locum reforms. That was one of the, I think, the
mm,
best thing. So locum mean that some doctors who are maternity leaves, or they are busy in their families, because here that both partners has to work, but it's very hard life here, that to pay your expenses and
yeah,
anything. So one of them can do a regular job, the other one can do a locum job according to their availability, according to their feasibility, and the locum rates and the structure was not there. So we brought that into the attention, and we did a campaign on that, and now the locum rates are at the highest at the moment,
yeah,
especially the
yeah.
consultant rates, and it has created more jobs, regular jobs, because people have shifted to the locum, and they are taking breaks, and they are going back home with the stamp four and coming back doing some locums, and it has created more vacuum for the regular jobs, and the people from the other countries, they are filling that vacuum. So we have done what we could have done
Yeah.
and it is basically to strengthen the Irish health system,
Yeah.
to bring quality of the care in the Irish health system. That was the motive behind that, because almost 50% of the Irish health system is non-Irish. So if that 50% is psychologically well and being treated equally, that can give better care to the patients. That was the motive behind that.
Okay, so that's great. Thank you so much, Lika. So we'll try to conclude our session. Okay, it's nearly 50 minutes now. Uh, just as we were saying this, we're gonna, like, that we are trying to strengthen Irish health system. There's still like a few issues which needs to be addressed, and I think one of the other medical council member, Dr. Mr. Naman, was mentioning that recently there have been maximum number of Pakistani doctors who got IM's, Irish Medical Council, over the registration over the last few years. So there are a lot of Pakistani doctors or Sudani doctors or non-EU doctors which are registered IM with IMC and looking for jobs. And so we'll try to get maximum people, to get their more suited jobs to help them. We The other thing is, which the reason I raise this point is, it's not only getting a job. Once you get a job, you take a responsibility. Okay, and Irish health system is first world countries health system. Things can be done differently in Pakistan, India, or Bangladesh. I don't know about India, Bangladesh, but I can definitely say about Pakistan, things can be done differently there. But once you come here, I would say try to work the way things are done here. When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. So we would like to maybe have another live session on that thing, that once a kind of orientation program or orientation session for new coming doctors who are just started their job here or about to start their job. So what are do's and don'ts for them, what they need to do, what they need to avoid, what are the work ethics here, what are the medical ethics, especially in pediatrics, what are the child protection issues, which sometimes are rare in Pakistan. They don't see those kind of cases, but here you can come across. So, and those are very sensitive things and have to be done very diligently and professionally. And other medical ethics issue and professional and individual issues at the level of the individual level. So we would like to do another session hopefully soon within the next few weeks. Um, at the moment, I would just quickly compare the two things for anyone who joined us late, that there are two different types of RPL introduced by RCPI. One is recognition of previous training. The training is like you should have a training program outside of Ireland. So you've done a training program, completed it, have your certificate after convocation or without convocation, but you have a certificate which is mostly after your convocation in hand, and then you can get that recognized to get exempted from 2 years of basic specialist training. So you get that 2 years exempted. You do your membership exams for Irish colleges, MRCPI, and then you directly apply for HST without working for 2 years in or without applying BST here. So when it comes to recognition of prior training, it is a training program outside of Ireland. The other thing is recognition of previous experience. So when it comes to the previous experience, RPE, that is for those doctors who have been working here in Ireland before and were not able to apply for BST before 2020. So that's a completely separate thing. And I think that's, as Dr. Lika said, that's only once off thing. So we hope it will come again next year, but uh, I think which is more doable and workable for Pakistani doctors or maybe Sudani doctors, which are the bigger cohort, or maybe now I'm seeing a lot of South African doctors recently over the last couple of years coming into the island. So maybe for them as well, because they have their own training programs as well. So if they have their own training certificates, they can get BST exempted and just do MRCPI and apply for HST. So we'll like to sign off, and I will just ask Dr. Lika if he has anything to
I
mention,
think
and
that's
then
fine. I
yeah.
think thank you, Mosam. I think that was a very nice session.
Thank you so much, everyone. And in the end, I would all again just request to share this video with all your colleagues who you think that can benefit from this talk. And please like and subscribe our official YouTube channel and Dr. Lika's Facebook page and app's Facebook page, as we will be bringing more videos on this. Okay, thank you. Signing off now.